This video is about writing ratios of a given situation and using proportions to solve application problems. So first we're going to determine the ratio given by a situation. So in number one, the sophomore class of Warren Township High School has 920 total students and 480 of them are girls. So leave our ratios in fractions. How many boys are there? So if we have 920 students and 480 of them are girls, when we subtract 920 minus 480, we get that there are 440 boys for the sophomore class. So what is the ratio of girls to sophomores? So remember that 920 is representing our total sophomores. So we have 480 girls divided by 920 in the entire class. And we're going to reduce that ratio. Remember, we can use the calculator to help us do that. So we can do 480 divided by 920. And then we can hit math, which is the third key down. So second, alpha, and then math. And we're going to hit the first option. So we just hit enter 2 times. And this will give us our reduced fraction, which is 12 over 23. So that means for every 12 girls, there's 23 total people in the class. B, find the ratio of boys to sophomores. So boys, we have 440 out of a possible 920 people in the class. So we're going to do 440 divided by 920, math, enter, enter. And our ratio here is going to be 11 over 23, which should make sense because if we add those two ratios together, they should equal 23 over 23, which would be reduced to 1 because all the boys and girls added together should equal the total class and total people in the class. Letter D, find the ratio of girls to boys. So we know that there are 480 girls. We're going to put that on top and 440 boys. So in the calculator, math 480 divided by 440, math, enter, enter. So our ratio would be 12 over 11. So the ratio of boys to girls, we're going to have 440 on top of 480. So all we did was we flipped the fraction, which means that our reduced ratio is going to be 11 over 12 because it's the same numbers, just the positions are flipped. Number 2, a recipe that makes 36 jumbo cookies calls for 4.5 cups of sugar. You only need to make 24 jumbo cookies. Set up a proportion to see how many cups of sugar we're going to need. So the two things that we are comparing in this are the cookies to the amount of sugar that we're using. So in the first recipe, we're getting 36 cookies and it's 4.5 cups of sugar, which we can write as 4.5. If we only want to make 24 cookies, though, we want to know how much sugar we have. So now we have a proportion. Remember, to solve a proportion, we cross multiply. So when we cross multiply here, we get 36x equals 4.5 times 24. So 4.5 times 24 is 108. So we have 36x equals 108. We can divide both sides by 36. And we divide by 36. We get that x is 3. So we would need 3 cups of sugar. Number 3, in the movie Zoolander, Derek Zoolander is having trouble understanding the idea of models and proportions. When he thinks the model of a school built for him is the actual size of the school. The ratio of the model to actual size is 1 to 650. If the model is 5.5 inches long, approximately how long is the school? So we are comparing the model to the actual. So we have 1 over 650 equals 5.5 over x, because we're looking for how long the actual building is. So when we cross multiply, we get x equals 5.5 times 650. So 5.5 times 650, we get x equals 3,575 inches. Number 4, about 1 in every 13 males has some form of color blindness. So if there are approximately 2,000 males at WTHS, how many of them have a form of color blindness? So we're comparing the color blindness to the total people. So for every one colorblind, there's 13 people total. So we want to know how many out of 2,000 are going to be colorblind. So when we cross multiply, we get 13x equals 2,000, and we divide by 13. So 2,000 divided by 13 gets us 153.8. Remember, we can't have rounded people, so we're going to just say about 153 boys. What percent of males have some form of color blindness if 1 in 13 have it? So if 1 in 13 have it, if that's our fraction, 1 in 13, to get that to become a percent, we can divide 1 divided by 13, which gets us 0.077 when we round, because the 9 rounds a 6 up to a 7. So when I turn that into a percent, I need to move my decimal place 2 places to the right. So it'd be 7.7% of males are colorblind. Number 5, about 0.5% of females have the same form of color blindness. So convert 0.5 into a fraction. So if we have a decimal of 0.5%, first what we can do is we can convert that into a decimal. So we're going to move it 2 places to the left. So our decimal is 0.005. So to find that as a fraction, we can use our calculator, 0.005, math, fraction, enter, and we get 1 over 200. So only 1 out of every 200 girls have color blindness. So to figure out how many females at WTHS would be colorblind, we're going to have 1 over 200 equals x over 2,000, because that's how many people are at the school. So when we cross multiply, we get 2,000 equals 200x. We divide both sides by 200, so 2,000 divided by 200 is 10, which means that 10 girls or 10 females are colorblind.